Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Medler Field at Lubrano Park as we get you set for the PIAA 6A Baseball Championship alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. This matchup is the Butler Golden Tornado, 22-3 and District 7 champions against the District 1 runner-up Neshaminy Skins, who were 20-7. We apologize, a little bit of technical difficulty after a 2-hour and a 20-minute rain delay. We got started, and the lineup for Butler, who is the visiting team, Bowden Lennox, Maverick Clement, and Trent Best went 1-2-3 facing right-handed senior pitcher Chase Bonner for Neshaminy. So it is the Skins now coming to the plate here in the bottom of the first. So Neshaminy now coming to the plate after Butler goes without a base runner in the top half of the first. And here is the lineup for the Skins. Mike Sassano leads off. Senior playing second base tonight. Dan Marable bats second. He's in right field. Chase Bonner, the pitcher, bats third. Brandon Lall is the third baseman batting cleanup. Noah Wallace bats fifth. He's the first baseman for the Skins. Matt Grin is in left field batting sixth. Batting seventh is Sam Hitchin, who's behind the plate. Nick Sassano, the center fielder, and Dylan Cloud bats ninth. He is the shortstop. That lineup facing right-handed pitcher for the Butler Golden Tornado. That is Nolan Stefanik.
Nolan Stefanik, a senior right-hander committed to Penn State here at Medler Field, has an 8-1 record, 0.52 ERA, 53 2/3 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts. That's really impressive. Against 15 walks, he's allowed just 21 hits this year. He was the winning pitcher for Butler in its quarterfinal win, 3-2 over Chambersburg. The District 3 runner-up allowed 3 hits, struck out 9. He can get up to 92 to 95, uses a cutter, sweeper, and change to go along with that fastball.
His first pitch is 92 on the radar gun here at Lubrano Park, but he bounces it up there to Mike Sassano. He's hitting at 344 on the season for the Skins. And the 0-1 pitch, or excuse me, the 1-0 pitch misses a little bit low, I believe. It's 2-0. So 2 balls and no strike to Sassano. Just 1 extra base hit on the season. It was a triple. And the 2-0 pitch misses as well. So right away, Stefanik falls behind 3 balls and no strike.
Yeah, he's only walked 15 over 53 2/3 innings. Has really good command usually, but off to a little bit of a shaky start here.
His wind and 3-0 pitch is just outside ball 4, so he misses on 4 straight to Mike Sassano. And the Skins have themselves a lead-off base runner here in the first for Dan Marable to bat. Neither one of these teams has ever won a baseball state championship. Neshaminy in its 11th PIAA playoff appearance. They got to the state semifinals last year before they lost a 1-0 game to North Penn in the 6A semifinal a year ago. Butler, only their second ever PIAA state playoff appearance in baseball, as Marable drops the bat as if to bunt but fouls it out of play. The Golden Tornado, the last time they were in, the only other time they were in the state playoffs for baseball was 1992. They were in the 3A semifinals, lost to Du Bois. So it's been a long time for the Golden Tornado. Their coach, Josh Forbes, has got them here to this state final. And Dan Marable, with the third baseman Blake Scott bearing in on him, takes the second pitch over for a called strike 2.
96 on the radar gun here at Medler Field. Kind of turning it up here for the second hitter after walking Mike Sassano, the leadoff hitter.
Sassano takes a little bit bigger lead, and he's off on the pitch, and they try to check his swing. They said he went around. He goes to second base. The ball trickles into center field. Sassano gets up, and he will scamper to third base. So the pitch was a check swing that was strike 3. So Marable is retired. But on the play, Sassano steals second. The ball trickled away from the second base bag and into center field. That allowed Sassano to get up and move to third base. So there's 1 out in the inning with now a runner at third base for the Skins, and Chase Bonner will bat.
Chase Bonner, not only one of the Skins' best pitchers, he is their leading hitter by average, hitting .437 with 24 RBIs, 10 doubles, 1 triple, and 3 homers.
Looking to help himself here with a runner at third base and 1 out. And the first pitch from Stefanik is outside ball 1. Nash Kuffman is in left field for Butler. Karsten Lennick is in center. Trent Best is in right. Ryan Radigan at first. Jake Sobalski at second. Bowden Lennick at short. Blake Scott at third. And behind the plate is Maverick Clement. And a big healthy cut for Chase Bonner is fouled straight back to the backstop. It's 1-1 strike. Bonner's headed to Rider University. Talking with head coach Dan Toner about his future. He said he might pitch at Rider, but he thinks he's going to be there for his bat. As Rich said, he's hitting .437 in this his senior year. And that pitch is way inside. He skips out of the way of it. It almost hit him. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Bonner with 14 extra base hits on the season, 10 of which are doubles. The runner, Sassano, takes his lead off of third. 2-1 pitch, beats a high hopper to first baseman Ryan Radigan. He'll take the play to the bag, and it will allow Sassano to come across. Bonner gets the RBI, and the Neshaminy Skins take the lead 1-0 on the RBI ground out from Chase Bonner.
Unearned run there with the help of the throwing error on the catcher. That would be Maverick Clement.
So that will bring up the cleanup hitter Brandon Lull, with the bases now empty and 2 out. Lull, a .382 hitter on the season. The first pitch from Stefanik is way up high. Maverick Clement is the son of former big league pitcher Matt Clement, who happens to be an assistant coach, pitching coach for Butler. As one of his proteges winds and delivers, Stefanik misses inside. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Stefanik is throwing hard. He's been hitting up to 97 miles an hour on the radar gun here. Just hasn't settled into a rhythm or a groove right yet. Having problems with location.
2-0 pitch. Fouls this one out of play. As Lull batting from the left-hand side, slices it towards the bullpens down the third base line. Butler, the visiting team, in the third base dugout, and Neshaminy in the first. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Lull. Again, base is empty. Run across. Somebody got to come pick up the baseball that was laying on the field. So a momentary delay. Todd Galbraith calling the balls and strikes in this one. Jeff Arisman at first base. Mike Schlip at second. Stephen Wills at third. District 3 umpiring crew. And the pitch is swing and a miss. Strike 2. And Stefanik has come back to get the count now to 2-2. Talk with Josh Forbes about the emotional level of Stefanik being able to pitch here on the field that he's going to make home come September. And this one is fouled out of play. Said, I got to think he's jacked. I mean, it's a state championship. He would be jacked, but he's like, oh, no, he's really fired up about pitching here. But he thinks it's a perfect place for him. He really thinks it's a great location for him to come here to Penn State. Thinks it's a good fit for Nolan Stefanik. 6'2", 210-pound senior right-hander. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Lull. Way up high and away. It's 3-2. So a bit of a labor-intensive first inning here for Stefanik. Three-two pitch, tapped towards short. Lennick has to charge it and make the off-balance throw in time for out number 3. And that will do it for Neshaminy in the first. But the Skins do put a run across. They did it without a hit. There was 1 error and nobody left on base. We are through 1 in the 6A Baseball State Championship game. It is Neshaminy 1, Butler nothing.
Are you having trouble saving to buy a home? The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency offers down payment and closing cost assistance. Learn more at phfa.org or just Google PHFA and find out how you can buy a new home.
Today's PIAA Radio Network broadcast is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years. Just like our local student athletes, Wayne Bank believes in hard work, teamwork, and commitment to excellence. From Friday night lights to championship moments, Wayne Bank is proud to support the schools, families, and communities that make scholastic sports so special. Wayne Bank, every day better, member FDIC.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Top half of the second inning and a 1-0 lead for Neshaminy. This is the batting order for the Golden Tornado. Again, Bowden Lennox led off. He popped up to the second baseman in the first. Maverick Clement bats second. He struck out. Trent Best also went down on strikes in the top half of the first. Leading off this inning will be the cleanup hitter, and it is the pitcher Nolan Stefanik. Blake Scott is batting in the 5-hole. Ryan Radigan bats sixth. Karsten Lennox bats seventh. Jake Zabalski bats eighth, and Nash Kaufman bats ninth. And again, that lineup facing a right-handed pitcher, Chase Bonner, for the Skins.
Chase Bonner, as Bob said earlier, going to Ryder mostly for his offense, but he's got an impressive 7-1 record with a 2.59 ERA, 48 2/3 innings pitched, 30 hits, 50 strikeouts, 29 walks. 29 walks in 48 innings is high. He has had command issues at times, but so far, through one inning, he's pitched very, very well.
Stefanik, a .370 hitter. Interesting that both these two teams not opting to use the DH today, as the first pitch from Bonner is outside for a ball. Now, again, they are two of their better hitters. Stefanik batting cleanup and Bonner batting third for Neshaminy. But in the high school game, you can use the designated hitter for any one of the position players. It does not have to be just the pitcher. 1 ball and no strikes to Stefanik, leading off in the second for Butler. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. It's 1-1. Golden Tornado winning the District 7 championship. They beat North Allegheny 4-2. Heading into the PIAA playoffs as the Whitfield champion. And now time is called as Bonner steps off the mound. First round of the PIAA playoffs, they beat District 6 champion Mifflin County 2-1. Then they beat the District 3 runner-up Chambersburg 3-2. And then the District 1 runner-up Owen J. Roberts 4-2. As Bonner misses outside, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So you can see by those scores, all very low-scoring affairs for Butler with their dynamic pitching duo of the man who's pitching for them today and is at plate right now with Nolan Stefanik, and the breaking ball is over for a called strike. And then the second pitcher for Butler, it's really more like 1 and 1A. That's Kyle Castile, who is headed to West Virginia University. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stefanik. Castile not in the lineup today and obviously not pitching. 2-2 pitch. On the outside corner for a called strike 3. Stefanik goes down looking at his 3 straight strikeouts now for Chase Bonner. And 1 out here in the second for Blake Scott.
Bonner doing a nice job of not just mixing pitches, changing speeds, changing locations. So far has been impressive.
Scott hitting at .299 on this his senior season. And now time is called at the plate. There's no pitch clock in the high school game, nor is there a limited number of timeouts or step-offs that you could use as there is in a professional game. Scott really crowding home plate from that left-handed batter's box. And the first pitch to him catches the outside corner for strike 1. Bonner just filling up the strike zone so far in this one. Comes back with his 0-1 pitch. That bounces up there. Matt Green is in left field for Neshaminy. Nick Sassano is in center. Dan Marable is in right field with Noah Wallace at first. Mike Sassano. The Sassano brothers are twins. Mike is at second base. Dylan Clouds at short. Brandon Lulls at third. Sam Hitchman behind the plate. Big swing, no contact for Scott. And Chase Bonner has got him now in a 1 ball and 2 strike deficit. Ryan Radigan in the on-deck circle for the Golden Tornado. And the 1-2 pitch from Bonner. Lifted foul and out of play. Defense playing the left-hand hitting Scott pretty well straight away. A little bit of a hole on the left side of the infield with the shortstop Cloud cheating a bit to his left. The outfield straight away. 1-2 pitch way outside, and Scott able to take it for ball 2. So a crowd that had to wait through a 2-hour and 20-minute rain delay. Game was originally supposed to start at 4:30, but because of the delay of game 2, it was pushed back to a 5:30 start. There's a swing and a miss, and another strikeout recorded as the string continues now for Chase Bonner. Strikeout number 4, and they've all come in a row.
He is pounding the strike zone. He's getting ahead of every hitter and has taken advantage of favorable counts and really done a nice job of mixing pitches.
4 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 2 looking. As Ryan Radigan, another left-handed hitter, steps in for Butler. And the first pitch to him is up high for ball 1.
Bonner was the winning pitcher in the quarterfinals, PIAA quarterfinal, 3-0 win over District 12 champion LaSalle College, and has had just a really, really nice senior season.
1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. The first time that Bonner has fallen behind a hitter in this one. A run across for Neshaminy at the bottom of the first. Butler bats here in the top of the second. You're listening to the PIAA 6A Baseball Championship on the PIAA Radio Network, as that one's on the outside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Like Scott before him, Ryan Radigan, the left-hand hitter, really crowding the plate. Front back foot almost up at touching the batter's box at the back of home plate. Pitch on the inside corner. It's 2-2. Butler head coach Josh Forbes in his 6th season. He's 83-48. He's coaching at third. Kibede as at first base for Butler. Two-two pitch. This stays alive by kind of lunging at it and fouling it straight back to the backstop.
You know, with both teams making their first appearance in a state final, you would think there'd be some nerves involved, but you haven't seen it so far here in the top of the second. Both teams have kind of settled in here, and especially the pitchers. I think after
fouled again, straight back by Radigan.
Especially Bonner, but Stefanik rebounded after allowing the run and got out of it pretty impressively. So we'll see. But I know in the 4A game that was before this, both teams got off to a little bumpy start. You could see the nerves were affecting the kids.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses way outside. The count is now full. Southern Columbia won the first game of the day, the 2A game, 9-2 over Mercyhurst Prep. And as Rich said, the 4A game went to Indiana, 6-5 as they held off a Holy Ghost Prep rally in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs here in the second in the 6A game, and the 3-2 pitch to the plate is up high, ball 4, and Butler has its first base runner. It comes by way of a walk. And that's how Neshaminy was able to get a run across. Matt Sassano led the game off with a walk, stole second, went to third on an error, and came home on a ground ball. So there's 2 outs, however, in the inning now for Karsten Lennick. Karsten, the younger brother of senior shortstop Bowden Lennick. Karsten a sophomore, Bowden a senior. As Radigan takes his lead off of first, and the pitch to Karsten Lennick is outside for a ball. Snap throw down from Sam Hitchin, the catcher, to Noah Wallace Cullibring at first, and Radigan has to dive back in. It's 1-0 now to Karsten Lennick with 262 on his sophomore season. Runner started and stopped, and the pitch is outside. It's 2-0. Lennick with 3 extra base hits on the year, 1 of each variety. 1 double, 1 triple, and 1 home run. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And it's outside again. It's 3-0. Looked like Bonner either slipped a little bit or
tweaked
caught his spike in the ground, one or the other. Just came away from that pitch looking a bit uncomfortable. And he's behind 3 balls and no strikes in the batter.
It's funny. He's been getting ahead of the first 5 hitters until the last 2 here.
He does catch the outside corner here to make it 3-1 with Lennick taking all the way. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Bonner from the stretch takes a peek over his shoulder. Runner again started and stopped. Doesn't matter. It's outside, ball 4. So he started the inning with back-to-back strikeouts, and he follows it up with back-to-back walks.
Yeah, we mentioned as we came on the air, Bonner has walked 29, now 31 in 49-plus innings. That's high. So he does lose command at times. And right now he's trying to work out of a first and second 2-out jam here in the top of the second.
8-hole hitter Jake Zabalski, the hitter now for the Golden Tornado. He hit .299 on the season. Junior second baseman. Trying to help Butler to cash in here. First pitch to him. Just outside, it's ball 1. Now time is called as the catcher Hitchman wants to have a conversation with Bonner. Vocal turnout from both sides. Got a lot of stored up energy from sitting through the rain delay. And they had introduced all the pitchers. The PIAA had made the decision that they were going to go through all of the warm-ups so that the teams take their pregame infield and outfield practice. They introduced the players. As they're supposed to start at 5:30, and they knew that there were storms coming, so they did all of that, and then they were going to take a 15-minute rain delay, and that's when the storms did indeed come. 1 ball and no strikes to Zabalski. Pitch to the plate on the outside corner. Ball strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 more PIAA baseball championship games for you tomorrow here on the radio network, starting at 10:30 a.m. with the single A game. Eden Christian taking on Doc Mennonite in that matchup. Pitch to the plate, swing and a miss. As he chases a pitch up high and comes up empty, Zabalski's now in a 1 ball and 2 strike hole.
Butler has only put 1 ball in play, and that was the leadoff hitter, Bowden Lennox, popped up to the second baseman.
So 2 on, 2 out. And a 1-2 count, and now time is called at the plate. Actually, it's called by the runner at second base, Radigan. Something he wanted to...
Some equipment.
I don't know if they got a belt problem or a glove problem.
I think it's
a belt.
Belt issue.
Well, he didn't want to pants himself if he had a chance to come around third base and score. So he gets a new belt. Somebody in the dugout had to make a sacrifice of giving up their belt for him. Not quite sure how he ripped his belt, but somehow or another the belt broke. So he's at second base after a walk. Karsten Lennox at first after a walk with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. And a 1 ball and 2 strike count on Jake Zabalski. And way outside, it's 2-2. So it's pretty work-filled second inning here for Bonner after he cruised through the first.
He cruised the first 2 hitters this inning, struck them out both, and then has gotten behind the next 2 hitters, and now has a 2-2 count with Karsten Lennox.
Pitch to the plate. He's again outside, and the count is full. So the runners will be off on the pitch here. Radigan from second. Lennox from first.
Excuse me. Yeah. This is Zabalski.
He's got 7 RBIs in the season. Trying to get Butler to get a run across here. 3-2 pitch. Lines it down the first base line, and it just slices foul. Noah Wallace, the first baseman, gave it a dive. He couldn't catch it, and it just ends up landing in foul territory. And everybody's going to have to return to their respective spots. So a lot of excitement on the Butler side of things, because if that's a fair ball, lots of good things are going to happen. They may get 2 runs out of that. 1 run for sure. And right now is a 1-0 lead for Neshaminy. So they'll do it again. Runners will be off on the pitch. Fouls this one straight back in our direction as Zabalski stays alive. A long top half of the second inning for Chase Bonner. Started out, as Rich said, very, very well, and has gone a bit off the rails, but he can recover it with one pitch here. 3-2. Missed outside, ball 4. 3 straight walks
with 2 outs after striking out the first 2 hitters of the inning. Just like in the 4A game with one of the pitchers, the body language on Bonner isn't good right now. You could see he's upset with himself after getting off to such a good start, walking the bases loaded here with 2 outs in the top of the second.
So Dan Toner, the 10th-year head coach for the Skins, makes a trip to the mound here to talk to and try to settle down his pitcher. Toner, 144 wins, 68 losses in his time with Neshaminy. He was an assistant coach with Neshaminy's arch-rival Pennsbury prior to taking the head coaching job at Neshaminy. And Neshaminy had a couple of epic matchups with Pennsbury over the course of the season. They ended up playing each other 4 times. Pennsbury beating Neshaminy in the District 1 championship game, 12-7. But Neshaminy comes back to beat Pennsbury in the semifinal 2-1. Pennsbury had a lead 1-0 going into the top of the 7th. Neshaminy scored 2 and ended up winning it. And here they are in the state final. They still lead this one 1-0, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Nash Kaufman. First pitch to him, up high for a ball.
Yeah, you could see Bonner just lost his command just in these last 3 hitters. And Kaufman is the number 9 hitter for Butler, and he's batting just 159. So, I mean, I'm sure Coach Toner told him, just go after him, throw strikes.
And you
got the ball over.
And you had to assume that Kaufman was going to stand there until he saw a strike, and he just did. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So again, bases loaded, 2 outs, top half of the second. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Nash Kaufman. Way outside. Good stop, and Radigan has to scamper back to third base. He was halfway home in the event that it got away from the catcher, Sam Hitchman. It's 2-1. Nash, one of 3 Kaufmans on the Butler roster. His older brother, Jet, is on the roster, as is their cousin, Mason. 2-1 pitch, way outside again. It's 3-1. So Chase Bonner in jeopardy of walking in the tying run.
Of walking the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the order.
Leadoff man Bowden Lennick in the on-deck circle if Kaufman reaches. 3 balls and a strike to him. Probably taken here.
Absolutely.
He is, ball 4.
Yep.
4 straight walks, and we are tied at 1. As Radigan comes across with Butler's first run. RBI for Kaufman on the play. On the bases loaded walk. And again, the lineup flips around now to Bowden Lennick.
And I'm not sure, Bob, with Chase Bonner, if he's trying to aim the ball, especially with the bottom of the Butler lineup, or if it's just a mechanical thing that he's just, or with some problem maybe with his release point or something.
First pitch to Lennick. Fouls this one back. Rich said this earlier. Lennick's the only one who's made contact, putting the ball in play in this game so far for Butler, and it was a little pop-up flare behind second base caught by Mike Sassano for out number 1 in the ballgame.
Yeah, we got some activity in the Neshaminy bullpen. Somebody, a right-hander's up throwing.
No balls and a strike to Lennick. Lifts this one straight up, shallow right side, and drifting into foul territory as the first baseman Noah Wallace will make the catch, and that will end the second inning for Butler. But the damage is done. They get a run. They did it without a hit. 4 straight walks gets Butler on the board. We head to the bottom of the second inning at Penn State University. It is the Butler Golden Tornado 1, the Neshaminy Skins 1.
Together, we bring more. Celebrate the milestones, big and small, in life, from your first state championship win to a family get-together. And make them more meaningful with beef. Visit
It's what'sfordinner.com for beef recipe inspirations and more.
Be prepared with CHIP, free or low-cost healthcare for Pennsylvania kids and teens. From checkups to unexpected bumps and bruises and everything in between, CHIP has you covered. Don't wait until you need it. Be prepared with CHIP. Because every kid deserves quality healthcare and every parent deserves peace of mind knowing their kids are covered. CHIP, free or low-cost healthcare for kids and teens under age 19. Learn more at chipcoverspakids.com.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Tied at 1 as Neshaminy comes to the plate here in the second alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Noah Wallace, Matt Grin, and Sam Hitchin. That is 5, 6, and 7 due up for Neshaminy here in the second.
And Bob, senior right-hander Jared Kligerman is up in the Neshaminy bullpen warming up after Bonner ran into some control problems in the second inning. Here we're 1-1, and we don't have a hit in the game.
A run for Neshaminy that was set up by Sassano's walk, a stolen base, and Aaron a ground ball that got him home, and then the control issues for Chase Bonner. Walking 4 straight batters gives Butler its first run. So
bottom of the order, no less.
Neshaminy now will start again with Wallace, the 5-hole hitter, to lead off, hitting at .377 on the season. Another left-handed stick coming to the plate here for the Skins. Facing Nolan Stefanik, senior right-hander for Butler, who winds and delivers his first pitch, and it's hit on the ground right at the second baseman Sobalski. He'll make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second.
Like maybe Stefanik took something off that pitch. Clocked at 90 miles an hour. He's already hit 97 here tonight.
Matt Grin, the hitter. Grin hitting at .431 in this his senior year. Another left-hand hitter. And that's way outside for a ball. Left-handed hitters in his game, which side it's on, really crowding home plate. This one a high chopper off the plate, and Stefanik has to wait for it to come down. Tosses the first just in time. Grin hustling all the way, almost beat that out.
Yeah, Stefanik with an underhand throw. I mean, it wasn't a lob, but it's still just beat Grin for the second out.
So that brings up Sam Hitchin, and so far an economy of pitches for Stefanik here in this second inning. Hitchin, a .303 hitter on the year. First pitch to him is up and in. Hitchin batting out of the 7th spot, but had 20 RBIs on the season for the Skins. Neshaminy beat District 11 champion William Allen in their first round state playoff game, 4-2. Rich mentioned that they played at LaSalle College in the second round, the District 12 champion. They beat them 3-0. And then, as we mentioned, the victory over their rival Pennsbury in the state semifinal. Pennsbury beating Neshaminy in the district final, but the Skins beat them 2-1 to get here to Penn State University. As the pitch is fouled out of play by Hitchin, it's 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Breaking ball, and it's that good when it's 1-2.
Froze Hitchin completely.
Stefanik delivers his 1-2 pitch. Fastball, it's a little chopper, and Stefanik's going to get another attempt, and this time he's got plenty of time, and he's got the third out. So Stefanik regains control in the second for Neshaminy. In the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We are through 2, and we are tied at 1 in the PIAA 6A Baseball State Championship game.
Keep up with your team's games this season no matter where you are with Game Changer. Game Changer, the #1 scorekeeping app for baseball and softball, is thrilled to be the exclusive scorekeeping, pitch count, and team management app for PIAA baseball and softball. Download the Game Changer app today or visit gc.com to learn more about Game Changer.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA promote the highest ideals of good sportsmanship in interscholastic athletics. Always remember to respect student athletes, coaches, contest officials, and game administration to help promote a safe and positive game environment. Together, we can foster a community of good sportsmanship.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We head to the top half of the third inning. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Butler here in the third. That's Maverick Clement, Trent Best, and Nolan Stefanik. We'll see how Chase Bonner responds. Didn't have a whole lot of time to sit quietly in the Skins dugout after struggling through the second inning. On a quick bottom half of the second for Neshaminy.
Kligerman still throwing in the Neshaminy bullpen. He has a 4-2 record with a 4.2 ERA, but he's got better control numbers than Bonner. In 33 in the third inning, he struck out 37 and walked just 9. So I'm going to guess that Dan Toner is going to keep him ready to come in here if Bonner continues to have command issues.
Clement, a strikeout victim his first time up. And again, Bonner struck out 4 in a row, the last 2 in the first and then the first 2 of the second, and then responded to that 4 straight strikeouts with 4 straight walks before finally getting out of the inning.
Bob, we've had 17 batters come to the plate in the first 2 innings. Not one has hit the ball to the outfield.
So Clement, who's a .311 hitter, Clement committed to continue his baseball career at Pitt, lifts this one straight up, left side, shallow. Shortstop Dylan Cloud will drift into left field, and he'll wait for it to come down and makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 out, right what Chase Bonner would like. And that will bring up Trent Best, who was also a strikeout victim his first time up, went down looking. Neshaminy in Bucks County. Butler, of course, in Butler County, which is about 35 miles straight up north from the city of Pittsburgh. And the first pitch to Best is on the inside corner for a called strike. Another of those left-hand hitters who crowds the plate. He almost was
flinched,
stepping out of the way to make sure it didn't hit him, and it was on the inside corner. That's how close to home plate he is. Bonner's 0-1 pitch, shows bunt, bunts it foul and out of play. Count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
It's interesting, Best batting .384, trying to bunt his way on here against Bonner.
Third baseman Brandon Law, backs up behind the bag now with 2 strikes. Fouls another one straight back. Bonner with a long look into his catcher, Sam Hitchen. And delivers. Breaking ball that's looped foul and out of play. Best, there must have been catcher's interference.
Catcher's interference.
Best is headed to first base.
Yep.
No argument from the Neshaminy dugout.
Nope.
So catcher's interference will put Trent Best at first base with 1 out here in the third inning. Goes as an error on the catcher.
It seemed like he swung late. I didn't notice it, in real time. But there, like you said, Bob, there's no argument from the Neshaminy dugout or the Neshaminy catcher Hitchen.
So that brings Nolan Stefanik to the plate now. Butler now looking to try to take the lead for the first time with their cleanup hitter Stefanik at the plate. Best takes his lead off of first, and the pitch to Stefanik is way up high for a ball. There's no doubt from the umpiring standpoint, most times you umpire with your eyes, sometimes you umpire with your ears, and that's a classic case of it because the sound that it makes, the bat hits the catcher's glove. Pitch, breaking ball is lifted down the first base line in foul territory. Wallace will give it a chase, but it will land on top of the Neshaminy dugout. So it's 1 strike to Stefanik, who struck out his first time up. Medler Field at Lubrano Park, home of the Penn State Nittany Lions and the State College Spikes as well. 1-1 pitch. Nope. Pitch off attempt. It's a beautiful setting if you've never been here for a baseball game. You're looking straight away center field out onto Mount Nittany. Breeze blowing at about 7 to 17 miles an hour according to AccuWeather. A little bit blowing out to straightaway left field as Stefanik takes this one in the outside corner for a called strike 2. 325 down the third base line. 320 down the right field line. 399 to straightaway center. 384 to the power alley in left center. And 375 to the power alley in right center. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss as he chases one up and out of the strike zone. Stefanik frustrated as he walks back to the dugout, a strikeout victim.
Well, Bonder seems to have better command in this inning, but again, got off to a great start in the second with 2 strikeouts and then ran into trouble. So he's got 2 outs here and struck out Scott in the second inning, faces him again here.
So 5 strikeouts now for Bonder as Scott steps to the plate. Runner at first, swing and a miss. And another swing of foul tip that time in and out of the glove of Hitchman. But it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Blake Scott. Scott with 22 RBIs on the season. With the runner Travis Best at first base. Takes his lead, takes another couple of steps. But not a huge lead. Now he does take off on the play and is a slow roller towards second. Mike Sassano up with it, throws the first in time, and that will do it for the Butler Golden Tornado here in the third. No runs, no hits, there was an error, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. It is tied at 1 between Neshaminy and Butler.
Becoming a champion is an incredible accomplishment, especially at a level as competitive as the PIAA. That's why the Faulkner Automotive Group proudly salutes the student athletes and their families for making it this far. When it's time to upgrade your vehicle, choose any of the 31 Faulkner dealerships in Philadelphia, Lancaster, Bethlehem, Harrisburg, or Mechanicsburg. You'll find award-winning teams doing business the right way and a fast and easy buying experience. Compare low prices on thousands of vehicles and find the one that's perfect for you. Faulkner, to be sure.
The PIAA Radio Network is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We head to the bottom of the third, tied at 1. We talked about the dimensions here in the outfield at Lubrano Park, but for the most part, those are pretty much meaningless at this point in time. So far, so are the outfielders in both sides.
Yeah, the outfielders have had the first 2.5 innings off because there has not been a ball hit out of the infield. In fact, Neshaminy's had only 1 base runner, and that was the leadoff hitter in the game, Mike Sassano, walked, stole second, moved to third on an error, and scored on a ground out. Neither team has a hit, and it follows, Bob, what happened with Neshaminy in the state semifinal against Pennsbury. They trailed 1-0, and in the 7th inning, they scored both runs to go ahead without hitting the ball out of the infield.
First pitch from Nolan Stefanik to Nick Sassano is up and in for a ball.
Yeah, they scored the game-winning run on a wild pitch.
And the second pitch is over for a called strike. So Nick Sassano, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the Sassano brothers are twins, Mike and Nick. both headed on to Delaware Valley University to play football for the Aggies. 1-1 pitch is a bit inside. It's 2-1. This was slow roller left side. Third baseman Scott has to charge. Off balance throw to first. Gets away from the first baseman and down the line. Sassano will roll into second base. And he is a leadoff base runner here for the Skins. We'll see how they rule that. It's going to be an error on the play. The question is whether it's a hit and an error or a two-base error.
Looks like they're going to call that an error all the way, Bob.
So Sassano on second base on what will be a E5. It's a tough play for
really
Scott because he had a charge and to make the off-balance throw, and Sassano can run fast.
And he hustled down the line right out of the box.
So he's at second base to lead off the third inning for Neshaminy with the 9-hole hitter Dylan Cloud up. And Butler anticipating the 9-hole hitter Cloud will drop a bunt down. They're up tight with Scott at third and Radigan at first, both up on the grass.
And the middle infielders are playing halfway.
Doesn't show bunt, jumps out of the way of it, has to jump back and out of the way of it. Nope. And it's 1-0. Cloud may be the 9-hole hitter, but he's hitting 286 in the season, and it does have 11 RBIs. We're going to put Neshaminy back up on top here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 pitch. Chopper, right side. Radigan has to wait for it to come down, and then he'll wait for the batter Cloud to run to him and then tags him. And on the play, Sassano moves up to third base.
Cloud did his job, got the runner to third base with less than 2 outs, put the ball in play.
So it was pretty much of a swinging bunt for Cloud, and it does put Nick Sassano 90 feet away with the top of the order and his twin brother Mike Sassano at the plate.
Tell you, Bob, the right fielder for Butler would be Trent Best. He is hugging the right field line. There is a wide gap in right center, and if Mike Sassano hits it there, he's going to run for a while.
Infield comes up to try to cut off that run at the plate with 1 out here. But again, runner at third, 1 out here in the third. And a 1-0 count now to Mike Sassano. And he misses that one outside. It's 2-0. Again, Rich mentioned it. Sassano got the run for Neshaminy with his legs. He walked, stole second, error on the throw to the second base on the steal attempt, got him to third, and scored on a ground ball. Swings at the 2-0 pitch and fouls it out of play.
Probably helped him there. Ball looked like it was a little high out of the strike zone.
11 RBIs on the season for Mike Sassano, trying to bring home his brother from third base. And infield is up. And a late swing fouls it down the first base side. It's quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 balls and 2 strikes, excuse me.
Center fielder Karsten Lennick for Butler is taking a few steps. Yeah, he's moving over closer to right field.
You know, that late swing from Mike Sassano. Everybody kind of taking a couple of shifts to the left in the outfield. Breaking ball is over for a called strike 3. Huge strikeout for Stefanik.
I think Sassano thought it was out of the strike zone a little bit high. The umpire called it a strike nevertheless.
So with 2 outs now in the inning, Dan Maribel will bat. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. By that strikeout, just the second of the game for Stefanik, but it's a huge one right now for Butler with 2 outs in the inning. Beats this one foul on the first base line. Interesting, the third baseman, Blake Scott, way up in the grass for the left-hand hitting Maribel. With 2 outs in the inning. Butler thinking perhaps maybe that Maribel might drop one down to try to get the run home. No indication of that in the first pitch. And Scott's not moving anywhere. He's staying on the grass. And the pitch is up and away.
And Best in right field, still hugging the line, this time again with a left-handed hitter up.
Yeah, that makes sense for the most part, but Karsten Lennick in center is pretty much straight away, so that gap in right center is still
enormous.
there.
Yeah.
1 ball and 1 strike. Up high, it's 2-1. Nick Sassano, the runner at third base, safe on an error and then moved up to third on a ground out. And 2 balls and 1 strike to Dan Marable. On the inside corner, it's 2-2. Another left-hand hitter crowding the plate, and that one was the inside corner trying to sell it. Todd Galbraith, the home plate umpire, says, nope, strike 2. Huge spot in this one early on in the third inning. It's inside, it hit him.
Yep, dead ball.
So Marable is a base runner on the hit by pitch. Ball had rolled all the way towards the Butler dugout, and Nick Sassano had started to come home, but because it was a hit by pitch, the ball is dead. He goes back to third. So the Skins now have runners at the corners with 2 outs, and the 3-hole hitter and pitcher Chase Bonner at the plate.
Again, Bonner, Neshaminy's leading hitter with a .437 average, tied for the team lead with 24 RBIs. Big spot here, both for Bonner and for Stefanik.
That's the beauty of with these two teams and having the pitchers hit for themselves. They have a chance to help themselves here. And the first pitch from Stefanik is inside, ball 1. Rich said Bonner tied with the team lead in RBIs with the guy in the on-deck circle, Brandon Long, with 24. Now time is called, and Matt Clement, the pitching coach, is going to come out and have a conversation with Stefanik. Interesting decision to do that. Clement, the former big leaguer, pitched for the Marlins, pitched for the Red Sox, pitched for the Cubs, among others. But he was the basketball coach at Butler High School, his alma mater, for 17 years. Just resigned as the basketball coach at Butler. His boys played for him on basketball in addition to obviously playing baseball. His other son, Madden, is at Virginia Tech. He is a left-handed pitcher. Maverick, who is with him on the mound right now, is the catcher for Butler, and he's headed to Pitt. Matt Clement wanted to spend some more time watching his kids play college baseball. So he comes out, has a word with Stefanik here with a 1 ball and no strike count on Chase Bonner. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, bottom of the third. There for a strike. Comes to the fastball at 91 on the radar gun. And for Stefanik, that's maybe even taking a little bit off of it.
Maybe that was the message from Matt Clement. Don't try to overthrow it.
Runner takes off from first. This one is lifted into left field, and Kaufman broke in but breaks back and has plenty of time and makes the catch for out number 3. So an outfielder gets a chance, and he makes the play as Nash Kaufman will make this catch in left field for the third and final out. For Neshaminy in the third. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We are through 3 in a 6A state championship game, tied at 1.
Cornerstone Business Graphics is proud to be a preferred vendor of the PIAA and offer custom wearables, promotional items, signage, banners, and so much more. Cornerstone is also home to MarketLogo.com, your source for online school store needs. School stores are a great way to raise funds and promote school spirit. Cornerstone is your one stop for all your school's promotional gear. Check us out at cbizgraphics.com. It's Cornerstone Business Graphics.
Some see a high school football stadium. We see a place where Pennsylvanians come together as a community. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA creating opportunities for student athletes to be seen across Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
A little bit of a delay to get started on this fourth inning because Chase Bonner made the last out of the inning, and now he's back out on the mound for this fourth inning. Just getting his warm-up pitches started. That's something you don't get to see at baseball anymore. Is it delay because the pitcher was made the last out of the inning?
No, you don't. You really don't.
So he's back out there, waging a war with Nolan Stefanik. Both of them had their moments in this game, but so far a 1-1 game and only one hit between the two teams.
Yeah, that was a big at-bat, big out for Stefanik to get Bonner to fly out to left with runners at first and third, and Neshaminy with another scoring opportunity. Because I don't think they're going to get many chances against Stefanik. We'll see if they can create one as the game goes on.
Ryan Radigan will lead it off for Butler here in the fourth, to be followed by Karsten Lennick and Jake Sobalski. They were the first of 4 straight walks by Bonner back in the second inning that gave the Golden Tornado their run in inning number 2. The lights are on here at Lebrano Park as the sky is all but dark, and in this case by a course of nature as opposed to the clouds and storms that blew through here a couple hours ago. First pitch to Radigan leading off the fourth is over for a called strike 1.
Bob, it looks like the official scores have changed his or her decision on Nick Sasano's tough grounder. Looks like they've given him a hit and an error on the throw, allowing him to go to second.
So it was a hit and an error on the play, as we expected it could be. So that is the game's first hit. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Radigan. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Bonner on 3 straight pitches retires the leadoff man for Butler here in the fourth. Strikeout number 6 for Chase Bonner. Out number 1 in the fourth. Karsten Lennick now up for Butler. Shows bunt, bunts it foul straight back. Try to drop the bat down late.
This is the part of the order that Bonner struggled to throw strikes against in that second inning. Radigan walked and scored after the next 3 batters walked and then just struck out. And then Karsten Lennick, Jake Sobalski, and Nash Kaufman all walked. And he's right now in the Bonner's facing the bottom of that Butler order.
Has happened to Bonner before. He, again, either stumbled or
I saw that.
The foot kind of stuck again on the mound. That happened to him once before, back in the second inning. This one is lifted straight back, foul and out of play and over our heads. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Karsten Lennick. 1 out, top half of the fourth inning, and a 1-1 tie.
The 5 base runners for Butler so far, 4 walks consecutively in the second, and then Trent Best reached on a catcher's interference last inning in the third.
Breaking ball just misses outside. Hitchman, the catcher, just kind of held on to it for a moment, but it's 2 balls and 2 strikes instead.
Yeah, I think the shortstop Dylan Cloud wanted that pitch to be called a strike 2 just by his reaction.
Instead, it's 2-2 to Karsten Lennick. And that is over for a called strike 3. Another strikeout for Bonner, his 7th.
He's made a nice recovery since those struggles in the second inning. He's retired 6 of the last 7 hitters. The only one in that 7 that reached base was, again, Best on the catcher's interference.
3 of the 7 strikeouts looking as Sobalski bats. And the first pitch to him is low for a ball. Again, Sobalski walked his first time up. 1-0 pitch to him here is a late swing and a miss. Bonner throws him the breaking ball, and Sobalski is way out in front. Swing and a miss. D-Reich, too. Came right back with pretty much the same pitch. A little cue shot down the first baseline. Wallace, the first baseman, bobbles it, picks it up, and Bonner covering for the out. And that will do it for Butler here in the fourth. With a tornado, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 1-1 our score.
Get a head start on your career in exciting fields like science, communication, engineering, and medicine, along with tuition assistance in the Pennsylvania National Guard. To learn more about the Pennsylvania National Guard, check out Join PA Guard on Facebook and Instagram, or go to nationalguard.com/PA.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, two community-focused organizations, are proud to be collaborating to provide Pennsylvanians free access to local high school sports broadcasts. To follow your schools, check your local TV and radio stations for coverage. Through the PAB and PIAA partnership, following Pennsylvania student athletes has never been easier.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Neshaminy Skins at the plate. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 up for Neshaminy. Brandon Law, Noah Wallace, and Matt Grin due up. Facing future Penn State Nittany Lion Nolan Stefanik on the mound that he will call home coming up and beginning next season.
Neshaminy has done a really nice job of making contact against Stefanik. Only he has just 2 strikeouts. He came into the game with 82 strikeouts in 53 and 2/3 innings, but Neshaminy is putting the ball in play. They just haven't been able to do much other than that scratch the run across in the first.
Stefanik has also walked 1 and hit 1. First pitch to Lal is there for a called strike 1. I think he started with a changeup there. And this one's lined into right field, falling fast. It's going to be a base hit. So Brandon Law with the first clean single of the ball game for the Skins. Again, the scoring change did give a base hit to Sassano for the first hit for Neshaminy.
Third time in 4 innings that Neshaminy has gotten a leadoff runner on. Just have been able to get 1 run across so far against Stefanik.
So that brings Noah Wallace to the plate. Wallace grounded out to second base his first time up. 377 hitter on the season with 23 RBIs. Right behind the team leaders in Bonner and Law. So the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, top RBI producers. Shows bunt, pops it up, and the third baseman, Blake Scott, will make the catch for out number 1. So Scott, who's been playing in on a number of these Skins hitters, was in a perfect position for that one as he popped it up. And that'll bring Matt Grin to the plate.
I'm going to guess Wallace hitting .377 for the year with 6 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Hasn't been asked to bunt much this season, and he looked it there.
Welcome to the state championship in a tight pitcher's game where you're trying to squeeze a run. Here's another drop bunt by Grin. Stefanik will field it, looks to second, then throws it away down the right field line, and everybody's going to start running. And some trouble picking it up, eventually having to pick it up around the tarp. And the right fielder, Trent Best, eventually runs it in. There was nobody there to throw it to in the infield.
Yeah, the first baseman, Ryan Radigan, shaken up because Grin ran through, and I think he got his arm. And that happens quite a bit on plays like that. The first baseman gets hurt.
So right now, with the throw getting away, it allows Law to get to third base, and Grin is at second base. with 1 out here in the 4th. Big opportunity here for Neshaminy.
No doubt about it.
So it's going to have to be E1 on the play. And the throw to first by the pitcher.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a judgment call whether he was. I think he was sacked. I think it was a sacrifice, but regardless, Neshaminy has runners on second and third and 1 out. And Butler coach Josh Forbes.
There's a conversation to be had about
I'm not sure what. Maybe where the runner was.
I think it's whether it's going to be interference on the runner is what the umpires are going to have a conference about. So all 4 umpires are having a conversation now between the pitcher's mound and first base bag, and that's the only thing it could be about whether or not they think that there should have been interference on the runner Grint. The throw arriving at the bag right around the same time as the runner. As Rich said, there's a collision between he and the first baseman, Ryan Radigan.
But I think the throw was to the foul side of the bag, and that's what forced Radigan to reach across the bag to get it, and Grin ran through him.
Yeah, and the umpires just agreed with you.
Yeah.
After the conversation.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yep.
I mean, unless he ran out of the baseline. Now, I didn't think I saw that.
He would have had to be inside the first baseline for that to be an issue, and I agree with you. I think that was just the timing of it more so than the location of it.
And you've seen it in all levels of baseball. That play, it leaves the first baseman very vulnerable to injury. And thank goodness, looks like Radigan's okay.
So second and third and a 1 out. Now the infield up for Butler in a 1-1 tie, and Sam Hitchin at the plate. Hitchin with 20 RBIs on the season, a chance to try to get Neshaminy back up on top.
Stefanik holding the ball for a long time before the delivery.
And that delivery is low for a ball. They're also trying to bring Trent Best, the right fielder, up a little bit. Rich had mentioned this a while ago, and he's pretty much stayed that way. He is way over to the right field line on every hitter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a right-handed hitter for Neshaminy or a left-handed hitter.
Second and third, 1 out, 1 ball and no strikes to Hitchin. Lifts this one towards right field, and it's going to drift foul and towards the Skins bullpen. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Hitchin. Again, 303 is his batting average. The junior catcher, without a home run on the year, but 20 RBIs, 7 extra base hits, 5 doubles and 2 triples. He's just trying to get something out in the grass right now. The runner at third in Law and a runner at second in Grint.
Shifting the infielders are shifting the outfielders, moving them over toward the right side.
Pitch to the plate. Little cue shot right side. Radigan comes home with it. The play at the plate is in time.
Great play by Radigan and a great tag by Maverick Clement. What a play.
So it goes 3-2 on the putout. Radigan made the play. He really only had 1 play because I don't know that there was anybody there to cover first base.
No, he didn't have a play at first base, and he definitely didn't have a play at second.
So it's a fielder's choice. Hitchin safe at first. Law out at the plate for out number 2. And on the play, Grin moves up to third base. So runners at the corners and 2 outs now for Nick Sassano. Who got an infield hit his first time up. One of only 2 hits for the Skins and only 2 hits in a game. And they're having Radigan hold the runner on at first just so he can't get that much of a lead. And a comebacker to the right side of the infield. Sobalski, the second baseman, will make the play to first in time, and Neshaminy cannot take advantage of it. The Skins are denied.
Second and third and 1 out, and just couldn't get that run across.
For Neshaminy in the 4th. No runs, a hit, an error, and 2 left on base. We're through 4. Still tied 1-1. The 6A Baseball State Championship game.
Fans, you can have it in white, chocolate, strawberry, and practically any flavor you like. It's the beauty of milk, and no other drink quenches a king-size thirst like milk. After practices, reach beyond the colas and other drinks. Get your hands around a tall, cold glass of milk and enjoy. Whole milk, whole nutrition. The PIAA thanks the Allied Milk Producers of Pennsylvania for their support of the PIAA Championships.
Today's PIAA Radio Network broadcast is brought to you by Wayne Bank, your hometown bank proudly serving communities across Pennsylvania for more than 150 years. Just like our local student athletes, Wayne Bank believes in hard work, teamwork, and commitment to excellence. From Friday night lights to championship moments, Wayne Bank is proud to support the schools, families, and communities that make scholastic sports so special. Wayne Bank, every day better, member FDIC.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
We head to the fifth, still tied at 1. These two teams have been in a number of these kind of games throughout the season, but more so even in the playoffs. And this is kind of where they've lived to get to the state championship game, and neither has ever won a PIAA gold. Neshaminy with no state championships in baseball, the same for Butler. Golden Tornado in the PIAA playoffs for the first time since 1992 and only the second time in program history.
Yeah, both making their first appearance in a state championship game in baseball.
Neshaminy got to the state semifinals last year, lost 1-0 to North Penn. And Toner said that to me before the game. We were talking about the Pennsbury game. He says, about time. I've had enough of these 1-0 games. We finally got something out of it and got the win to get the semifinal win because it was 1-0 going into the 7th. Kaufman leads off. Nash Kaufman, that is, for Butler. And the first pitch from Chase Bonner is outside for a ball. Kaufman walked his first time up. Got an RBI on it because it was bases loaded when he walked. And that one bounces up there. It's quickly 2 balls and no strikes to the 9-hole hitter for the Golden Tornado.
Again, seems like Bonner disgusted with himself that he's gotten behind here. 2-0 on Nash Kaufman.
Top of the order, and Bowden Lennox in the on-deck circle to be followed by Maverick Clement. 9-1-2 for Butler here in the 5th. And it's now 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Kaufman walked the first time up. You can guarantee at 3-0 he's taken here. We'll look down at Josh Forbes. And I don't know what the bunt sign is, or what the take sign is, but I know he got it. And that's on the outside corner for a called strike.
Yeah, I would take here too.
Bonner looks in. Now winds and delivers. 3-1 is there, and he did take, and he gets a called strike too. So Bonner's now come out to get the count, but come back to get the count full. To junior outfielder Nash Kaufman. Lifts this one foul and out of play. In high school, the PIAA rule is 105 pitches for a pitcher in a game.
If he has full rest.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that one bounces up there, ball 4.
Nice job by Kaufman fouling off that 3-2 pitch and forcing Bonner to throw another strike, and he didn't, and he draws the leadoff walk here to open the top of the 5th.
So the first walk surrendered by Bonner since he walked Kaufman with the bases loaded. Settled down nicely in terms of getting through the 3rd and the 4th inning, but now Kaufman is a leadoff base runner here in the 5th.
6 base runners for Butler, 5 walks and a catcher's interference.
Bowden Lennox, leadoff man who's been retired twice in a couple of pop-ups. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Popped up to the second baseman, popped up to the first baseman in his 2 plate appearances so far. The leadoff hitter hit .262 in his senior season. Headed to the University of South Carolina Aiken, a Division II program next year. That pitch is way up high. It's 2-0. So Bonner fell behind Kaufman, got himself back to 3-2, and then lost him. He falls behind Lennox, 2-0. That's there for a called strike. Lennox has some pop by the leadoff spot. He's got 10 extra base hits on the year, 5 of them home runs, 5 doubles and 2 triples. And the outfielder is noticeably backed up a little bit in center and right.
Kligerman once again up in the Neshaminy bullpen. Was up earlier.
2-1 pitch. Lennox,
wow.
Late swing, and it comes up empty. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it was a high hanger.
60,
but Lennox threw
67 miles an hour on the radar gun.
Yeah, and Lennox swung late at it, believe it or not. But
so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Lennox. And that just misses outside. That's a heck of a take. It's 3-2.
Sure is, especially with 2 strikes on you.
Nash Kaufman, the runner at first, takes his lead. 3-2 pitch. That's over for a call. It's strike 3. Lennox tried to sell it and run down the first baseline. And home plate umpire Todd Galbraith, who has a delayed strike 3 call to begin with, rings him up.
Yeah, I was right down the middle.
Yep.
That couldn't have been clearer.
Strikeout number 8 for Chase Bonner. 1 out here in the 5th. And it's even now. 4 strikeouts looking, 4 strikeouts swinging. As Maverick Coleman, who's one of the strikeout victims, stands in. He also popped up to short. First pitch to him is outside for a ball. Clement, .311 hitter, 3 home runs and 13 RBIs. He's got 10 doubles on the season. Headed to the pit. I asked Josh Forbes if he pitches at all. He said he doesn't, but he's got a heck of an arm. 1-0 pitch, and that just misses. He said, I wouldn't be surprised. He said, if he goes to pit and he hits, they're going to leave him as a catcher. He said, but if he struggles at all, he said, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on the mound. His brother Madden is a pitcher at Virginia Tech. 2 balls and no strikes to Maverick Clement. Breaking ball outside, ball 3. 3-0. It has been a strange outing for Chase Bonner.
Well, it sort of follows his season stats, Bob. He's got 8 strikeouts and 5 walks, and for the year coming into tonight, he had 50 strikeouts and 29 walks.
And that's way outside, ball 4. An easy take for Clement there at 3-0.
No doubt. He just seems to lose. I don't know, maybe it's got to be a mechanical thing.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned this earlier, whether it's mechanical or whether he's overthrowing it.
Or aiming it. Maybe he's just trying to aim it.
And here comes Dan Toner again.
Let's see.
He's the second time he's come out to talk to Bonner. He came out after he got in trouble with the walks in the 2nd inning. He was able to settle down after that disaster of an inning, get out of that inning and cruise pretty much through the 3rd and 4th.
I think we're making a change here. We're seeing a change.
You are correct.
Yep. Toner's
left fielder Matt Grin, who is the second pitcher, if you will, for Neshaminy. Looks like he's coming in. He's in left field. He's coming into the game.
It looks like.
Well, they don't use the DH, so they're going to have to make a change here somehow or other. I would imagine Bonner probably.
Looks like Michael Welsh, number 9, is headed out to left field, I guess, for Grin.
Yeah, the question is where Bonner goes, because they're not taking that bat out of the lineup. Unless he just becomes the DH, because they don't have a DH now, so he could potentially go to DH. And then Welsh just plays the field. Because, again, you could use the DH for anyone in your lineup.
Yeah, that could be too, right.
That would be my guess. So Matt Grin now will come on.
Grin has 2 wins in the state tournament in the first round against William Allen of Allentown, 4-2, and then he was the winning pitcher against Pennsbury in the semifinal, 2-1 win for the Skins.
So Mike Walsh is the new left fielder.
Oh, Bonner's, you're right. I would think that Bonner's going to stay in the lineup.
Yeah, there's no way he's coming out of the batting order.
No. So Grin comes into tonight's game with an 8-1 record, 1.58 ERA, 53 innings pitched, 44 strikeouts, 9 walks.
So, yeah, Walsh will just come in and play left field and not bat. Bonner will stay batting just now as a DH. So that's one advantage to not using the DH in this particular case, is that you just make the change and hopefully Bonner goes as the DH. Or is he? He may come out and play the field. He might have just been changing gloves. Yep. I think he might be heading to shortstop.
So then we got to figure out.
Well, somebody else must have come off the field because there's only 3 other infielders out there. I'm going to guess that he's probably going to come in as Dylan Cloud out of the game will be the guess. Nick Sassano is one of those infielders. He's the second baseman.
So it's 2, 22, 14, and Bonner are in the game.
So Wallace is the first baseman. That's 22. And Law is 14, the third baseman. So that's the story.
So
Cloud is out.
Cloud is out. Yep. And so Walsh is in for
Walsh
Cloud.
is in for Cloud. That is correct. As Bonner goes to short. I mentioned this earlier that Dan Toner thinks that Ryder will take a look at Bonner as a pitcher, but he thinks his future is as a hitter, and he will play as an infielder at the next level. So Chase Bonner now at short. And Mike Walsh will bat in the 9 spot in replacement of Dylan Cloud.
Now I'm wondering how many pitches can Grin throw since he threw Monday, and we don't know that. We don't know how many pitches he threw Monday.
First pitch from the left-hander to the left-hander Trent Best is over for a called strike. So Bonner goes 4 1/3, but he's got 2 runners on here by way of walk. Kaufman at second, Clement at first, and an out, 1 out retired. A 1 pitch. Lifted up down the third base line in foul territory. Law will give it a chase. He'll have room, but he cannot get under it, and the ball will fall in foul territory. So Trent Best gets another opportunity here.
Yeah, there's a lot of room there. I think more room than Law thought.
And there's some air flowing around up there as well because the ball landed back behind where Law ran to. So it's no balls and 2 strikes now to Trent Best. Another opportunity for him. He's 0 for 2 on the night.
Butler still looking for its first hit of the game.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It goes in and out of the glove of Hitchin. He takes a look, and they've got a man off the bag at first. They throw down, and he is out. It's going to be a double play.
What a terrible base running.
Maverick Clement had run off of first base. He's looking at Kaufman at second saying, why didn't you move up? But Kaufman does not have to go anywhere.
No, it doesn't have to go anywhere.
But Clement had taken off, and they throw back behind him and throw him out. So it's a unusual double play, but it ends the inning, and Butler comes away with nothing for the Golden Tornado in the 5th.
I mean, Clement's looking at Kaufman,
right.
But guess what? That's his fault.
For sure. Again, second base, the runner does not have to go anywhere, and it didn't get very far away from the catcher.
No.
So for the Tornado in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Neshaminy to the plate when we get back, still tied at 1.
The PIAA is honored to have St. Luke's University Health Network, a nationally recognized entity in sports medicine, as the official medical provider of the PIAA Championships. St. Luke's University Health Network is a top 100 major teaching hospital which provides care to athletes ranging from youth sports to professional athletes in Pennsylvania. St. Luke's Sports Medicine offers comprehensive athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. St. Luke's is proud to have been chosen to support the Champions of Pennsylvania as the official medical provider of the PIAA Championships.
Spalding is proud to be the official baseball of the PIAA playoffs. Founded on baseball over 100 years ago, Spalding has a full line of baseballs for every level of play. Spalding, true to the game.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot of normal in this game so far, starting with the 2 hour and 20-minute rain delay. Then you look at the line score. For Butler, 1 run on no hits and 3 errors. For Neshaminy, 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. And then the last inning ends on a double play. On a strikeout, throw him out double play. Now, that's not necessarily unusual, but the way it happened was it was a swing and a miss and a strikeout to Trent Best. And the ball got away from the catcher, Sam Hitchin, but not very far away. And the runner, Kaufman, at second base stayed put, but the runner at first base, Maverick Clement, wandered too far off. They threw behind him, and they throw him out to end the inning on the double play.
We're through 4.5, and there have been 2 balls hit to the outfield, both by Neshaminy, a single and a fly out. Butler is tied and hasn't hit a ball out of the infield.
So here's Mike Walsh batting for the first time. Again, he just came in as part of the change when Bonner came out. He came in to play left field, and Grin came in to came in to pitch, excuse me. 1-0 the count to Walsh and make that 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Butler hasn't hit a ball out of the infield, yet Neshaminy's starting pitcher was knocked out of the game.
Walsh batting for just the 10th time this season. 1-1 pitch is in right field for a base hit. Take that, mister. I've only batted 9 times prior to this. He gets his 2nd hit of the year, and he's a leadoff base runner here in the 5th. We'll add that into the ongoing unusual of this 6A state championship game.
4th time in 5 innings, Neshaminy has gotten a leadoff runner on. The only one to score was Mike Sassano, who led off the game with a walk, stole second, moved to third on a throwing error, and scored on Chase Bonner's ground out.
And Mike Sassano is now the hitter for the Skins. And again, the third baseman, Blake Scott, right down his throat, bunt, and it spins him out of the way. And it was hit the bat, almost hit the hands of Sassano as Stefanik. And a lot of pitchers have always been taught that. That's a little bit old school style. You see a guy square around a bunt, you throw it in on his hands.
Yep.
And that was in on his hands. Almost hit his hands. So it's a foul ball and 1 strike to Mike Sassano. And Scott way up at third base, anticipating that Sassano will try it again. He does drop the bat, and fouled it straight back.
Yep.
Walsh has to go back to first base. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Mike Sassano. Again, the Sassano twins, football and baseball players at Neshaminy High School. And the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball just reached out and slapped it to stay alive.
Curveball that Sassano managed to spoil.
Stefanik with just 2 strikeouts in this game.
Yeah, it's really something because he came in with 82 strikeouts in 53 2/3 innings. But again, give credit to Neshaminy. The Skins have put the ball in play.
Sassano hoping to try to do the same right now with 2 strikes on him. Runner on first base, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th, 1-1 tie. That's way outside low, throw it back down to first base, and a nice job by Radigan to use his body to block it. And the count is 1-2 now to Mike Sassano. Both teams had a long wait. They were here plenty of time, waiting for what was supposed to be a 4:30 start for this game. This one lifted down the first base line, and again, Sassano fouls one out of play. So a game that was supposed to start at 4:30, between delay of games prior to it and then rain, did not start until 7:50. We waited our way through a rain delay to try to get this one in, and so far so good. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mike Sassano. Way outside again.
Ooh,
Runner
he's
again
out.
wanders off, and it
Oh,
gets away
man.
from the first baseman. And will move up to second base. Welsh had wandered too far off the bag. They threw behind
I thought
him.
he was a dead duck.
If the throw was good, he was, but Clement's throw was low, and it went through the breadbasket of Radigan, and it allows Welsh to move up to second base.
Fourth error of the game by the Butler Golden Tornado, second by Clement.
And only the first has cost them to this point in time. But now a runner at second base, and 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Sassano. Lifts this one into right field, right where Best is. He has to make a couple of steps over, makes the catch actually in foul territory, but the runner will tag up, and Mike Welsh is now at third base with 1 out. So Best, who's been cheating to that line all night long, had to go all the way to the line and then actually into foul territory to make that catch. And Welsh tags and moves up to third.
It's interesting, Bob. Best is hugging the line, yet the center fielder for Butler would be Karsten Lennox, and he's playing straight away. And here comes Matt Clement for another mound visit.
There's nobody up in the bullpen, but again, in high school baseball, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if there is a move to the bullpen, and I wouldn't expect that that's going to happen here, but the guy who might be in reserve to pitch could very likely be out of the field, so he wouldn't be up in the bullpen. Again,
You wonder about Castile if he's
what he has left
available
to pitch.
to pitch. Right, you
Correct.
don't know.
He pitched in the semifinal. Future West Virginia Mountaineer, who is not starting, but he would be up in the bullpen because he is not in the lineup. So he could get up and warm up. So it's a quick visit from the pitching coach Matt Clement with Stefanik. And Dan Marable is the batter. Infield will come up for Butler to try to cut off that go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tied at 1. Runner at third base, 1 out for Dan Marable. First pitch over for a called strike. Marable with just 9 RBIs on the season, batting out of the 2-hole. Looking for a big one here. 0-1 pitch. Inside, it's 1-1. Beats this one foul at the plate. And Stefanik ahead now 1-2. Stefanik would really love a strikeout here. Would be huge for Butler. The go-ahead run at third base and 1 out. Meantime, Marable just trying to get it out in the outfield somewhere. From the stretch, Stefanik to deliver. Lifts this one straight away center field. Should be deep enough. Lennox has to come in on it. Still coming in. He won't get there. It's going to fall in front, and that will allow Welsh to score.
Yeah, he was playing straight away center. Again, it fell into that gap in right center we've been talking about most of the game. It wasn't hit deep, but there was a lot of room between Lennox and center and Best and right. And Lennox he got a good jump on it. He just couldn't get to the ball in time.
Perfect spot for Dan Marable. It goes as a base hit and an RBI, and Neshaminy is on top again at 2-1. With Marable now at first base and still 1 out, and Chase Bonner at the plate. And that is over for a called strike 1. Bonner 0 for 2 on the night. Did drive in a run on a ground out in the first inning. Drive in the first run, that is. Flew out to left field his last time up. Left-handed stick. Facing Nolan Stefanik, who delivers. Up and away, it's 1-1. This one foul and out of play down the third base line, and Stefanik ahead 1-2. Bonner, who started the game, now moves over to his more traditional shortstop position and likely his potential college future position as well. Headed to Rider University. Facing the future Nittany Lion. The runner takes off from first, swing and a miss at the plate.
Great
Throw
jump.
down is no chance.
No way. That was a tremendous jump by Maribel.
So he moves up to second base on the steal. Bonner is a strikeout victim. That's 2 outs now here in the 5th. Just the 3rd strikeout for Stefanik. It'll bring up Brandon Law. So Maribel in scoring position with 2 outs now, and Law at the plate. 1 for 2 on the night at a base hit his last time up. Probably the hardest hit ball of the night. Maybe the only hard hit ball of the night.
True.
Thought for a second they might be putting him on with the open base, but that's not going to happen. Law just called time. Maribel takes his lead off of second. Stefanik takes a couple looks over the shoulder, a third look, and now delivers. This one lifted down the third base line, slicing and foul. Law, a 382 average on the season. We mentioned that he is tied with Bonner in team, actually one behind Bonner, who had an RBI earlier. So Bonner has 25 RBIs, Law with 24 on the season. 6 extra base hits on the year, 5 doubles and a triple. He's down, no balls and a strike. They get 1 ball and 1 strike.
Everything's quiet in both bullpens right now here in the bottom of the 5th.
Two outs and a runner at second. And a run across. Way outside, an easy take for Law. Law will continue his baseball career at Monmouth University. Two balls and a strike to him now. Swing and a miss. Bottom hand came off the bat for Law. He wants some substance. Wants a little sticky.
It's a fastball from Stefanik, but it was at 90 miles an hour. He's kind of slowed down since the beginning of the game when he hit as high as 97 on the radar gun.
Trying to get out of any further trouble here. He's a strike away from doing that. With a runner at second, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the hitter. Does not chase up and away. It's 3-2. Stefanik, again, a couple looks back to second. The pitch is way outside again. It's ball 4.
Just the second walk, I believe, given up by Stefanik.
Since the first batter of the game.
Yep.
So that's 2 on now and 2 out. And it'll bring Noah Wallace to the plate. Maribel, the runner at second base, he singled. Drove in the go-ahead run in this inning for Neshaminy. Now Law joins him on a base pass at first with 2 outs. And Wallace at the plate, who's 0 for 2. First pitch there for a called strike. This one tapped right side, left side, and it gets past the glove of Lennox into left field. It's going to allow a run to score. Throw it home is cut off, but everybody moves up. It'll be a base hit and RBI for Noah Wallace, and it's a 3-1 Neshaminy lead.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there. Took the pitch, hit the pitch where it was thrown, went to the left side, opposite field for Wallace, got past the shortstop into the outfield for a base hit and a 3-1 Neshaminy lead.
The throw came into the infield and it allowed Lahl to move up to third and the batter Wallace to move up to second. So with 2 runs across and now 2 more in scoring position for Neshaminy here. A big spot here for Matt Grin and the Skins to maybe break this thing open a little bit here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Grin hitting .431 with 18 RBIs.
First pitch to him is up and away for a ball. Safe on an error his last time up. Hit one back to the mound in his first plate appearance back in the second. 1-0 pitch. Late swing. It's 1-1. Excuse me, it's 0-2.
No, it's 1-1.
1-1.
They didn't mark the first. The scoreboard operated nowadays 1-1.
1 ball and 1 strike to Matt Grin. And another very defensive swing is a foul tip in and out of the glove of Clement. It's 1-2. So a couple of very defensive swings here by Grin in this plate appearance. Three hits in the inning for Neshaminy. Had just 2 hits prior to the inning. Way inside, had to step out of the way of it. It's 2-2. Two on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Well, another very defensive swing, and he just fouled it down the third baseline.
Bob, I wonder if Stefanik is tiring because he's hitting. That was a fastball, 89 miles an hour. He's been this inning. He's been around 90, 89, 90. Again, earlier in the game, he was hitting 97.
A valid point this point in the game. So he tries to work out of any further trouble here in the 5th. Another foul ball by Grin, who stands to be the winning pitcher now if Neshaminy can hold on.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown a lot of stress-free pitches other than the second inning when he retired Neshaminy in order. He's had base runners. He's faced batters with base runners on base every inning.
2-2 pitch. Way inside, goes all the way to the backstop and off the backstop and allow the runners to move up. It got away from Clement, who had no chance at the play.
No, it was just a wild pitch.
And Lahl scores to make it a 4-1 game, and Wallace moves up to third base. Stefanik in this inning and a couple of times in this game when he's missed very wildly. And that one, most of those have been up and away to left-hand hitters. This one almost hit Grin. He had to jump out of the way of it and went all the way to the backstop. So 3 runs across in the inning for Neshaminy and another runner in scoring position at third base. And 3-2 to Grin. Slapped to the left side, and that's going to be through for a base hit. And another run will come in, an RBI single for Matt Grin. And it makes it a 5-1 Neshaminy lead.
Lennox caught the ball going to his backhand side in the outfield, stopped it, but there was no way he was throwing out Wallace at home.
So an RBI single for Matt Grin, his 19th RBI of the season. 3 RBI singles in this inning, 4 hits in total for Neshaminy here in the 5th to make it a 5-1 game, with Grin at first base and Sam Hitchin now at the plate. Hitchin 0 for 2 on the night. And now a conversation going to be had between the catcher Maverick Clement and Stefanik.
Bob, let me remind our listeners about Neshaminy. Neshaminy was the 8th seed in the District 1 tournament, lost to Pennsbury in the district semifinal 12-7, and then lost to Penridge in the third place game 5-2. And they've come back here in the state tournament with 3 straight wins over Allen, LaSalle College, and Pennsbury. They played Pennsbury 5 times this year, beat them the first time they met them, lost the next 3, and then beat them in the state semifinals. So, and Pennsbury was an outstanding team, 24-3. So just an impressive display by Neshaminy. Really came together here. The Skins have come together here in the state tournament.
With a 4-run lead here to break open a 1-1 tie. Runner takes off at first. There's a ground ball to first. Radigan will make the play by himself, and that will end the big inning for the Skins. For Neshaminy in the 5th, they put 4 across. They did it on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left. We'll head to the 6th. It's now Neshaminy 5, Butler 1.
Do you need custom cuts of meat for your next cookout? Look no further than Wise Markets. At Wise Markets, they can custom cut a variety of meats, providing you with the perfect size and best quality. You'll always get fresh, in-store cut meat at your local Wise Markets. Eat better, spend less, that's Wise.
If you think you can make the calls, become a PIAA official. Make some extra cash, stay in shape, and enjoy interscholastic sports, all while making a difference in your community. Head to PIAA.org for more information.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Now the Neshaminy Skins putting 4 runs across in the bottom of the 5th inning to make this a 5-1 game. We're talking with 10th-year head coach Dan Toner about this game and this team, and he said, again, we mentioned this earlier, we've lost enough 1-0 games. I'm sick and tired of them. I want to put some runs across. They've done that in this. His father, Jess, is a part of his coaching staff, and said he was with me when I was at Pennsbury. He's coached around. He played the game for a long time, and said he's just enjoying the ride with all of us. So it's kind of a cool thing for a father and a son to enjoy the experience of coaching at the high school level, and now an opportunity to coach here at Penn State University in a state championship game.
Yeah, just a really solid team here. They've done a great job against Nolan Stefanik, putting the ball in play. Stefanik came in with a sparkling record, headed to Penn State to play baseball here in the fall. And Neshaminy has done a great job. I mean, Stefanik has just 3 strikeouts. They've got 6 hits. Just a really, really nice approach at the plate by the Skins.
So Matt Grin in relief for Neshaminy. Came in relief of Chase Bonner, who's now at shortstop. Grin only faced 1 batter in that 5th inning. Came into a 1st and 2nd situation with 1 out and got out of it on a strikeout and then a pickoff attempt by the catcher. Ultimately get him out of any further trouble. So he's only faced 1 batter, and the second batter to face him is Stefanik, and he drives one deep into left field all the way back and off the wall. Nolan Stefanik will roll into second base with a leadoff double.
First hit of the game for the Butler Golden Tornado.
And it 1 hops off the fence for Stefanik's 6th double of the season. So he's the leadoff base runner for the Golden Tornado here in the 6th.
Bob, action in the bullpen for Butler. It's Trent Best, the right fielder, loosening up quickly in the Butler bullpen.
Neshaminy gets some action up as well, although Grin's only facing his 2nd hitter. Blake Scott now the hitter for Butler. Scott 0 for 2 so far in the game.
Yeah, that's Jarrett Kleigerman once again up. He was up earlier in the game.
So the left-hander Grin facing the left-hander hitting Blake Scott. Tried to check his swing, but hit his bat. Fouled out of play. Again, neither of these teams have ever won a state championship. Neshaminy reaching the state semifinals a year ago. And in Neshaminy, typical Neshaminy style, lost 1-0 to North Penn. Pitch from Grin. Try to check his swing again. This time it gets away from the catcher and will roll all the way to the backstop. Stefanik will move up to third base. Not sure if they're going to, I think they're going to appeal as to whether or not he swung or not.
Well, he swung. I
thought so.
Third base umpire signaled.
So it's no balls and 2 strikes to Scott.
Yep, 0-2.
So Neshaminy will keep the infield back with a 4-run lead here, just trying to get an out. Conceding the run if Scott can put the ball in play. Again, started and stopped, but that time he definitely held up. It's 1-2. Matt Grin will continue his baseball career at Lackawanna College. He's now becoming part of the PSAC. Wides and delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Scott goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Grin. Out number 1 here in the 6th. That'll bring up Ryan Radigan.
Nice curveball there to retire Scott.
Radigan walked and scored Butler's lone run in this game and also struck out. Facing Grin for the first time. Lefty on lefty matchup again. Takes it for a called strike 1.
Grin doesn't throw especially hard, but he's got a funky delivery. Might be throwing the hitters off.
There's 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a very awkward swing from Radigan. So again, the infield back. Neshaminy pretty much giving them the run if Butler can put the ball in play. Scott could not. Now Radigan's 0-2. Bounces it up there. Good block by the catcher Hitchman and and nobody going anywhere as Stefanik has to stay at third base.
Yeah, Neshaminy would gladly trade an out for a run here with a 4-run lead.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Radigan, who has just 6 RBIs on the season. Junior first baseman. Now time called with Hitchin having an issue with his shin guards. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Radigan. Lifts this one in left field. It's going to fall for a base hit. The run will score. RBI single for Ryan Radigan. Makes it a 5-2 ball game.
Really nice piece of hitting by Radigan. Didn't try to do too much there. Just a nice, easy swing, lofted over the shortstop Bonner's head in the left center field for an RBI single.
Stefanik coming across with the second run of the game for the Golden Tornado. It'll bring Karsten Lennick to the plate. Lennick 0 for 1 on the night. Walked and struck out in 2 plate appearances. 5-2 now is our score. It's the second hit registered for Butler in the game and in this inning. And the pitch from Grin is over for a called strike to Karsten Lennick. Again, a pair of brothers on the team for Neshaminy and the Sassano twins. And a couple of Kaufmans on the roster for Butler as well. As well as the Lennick brothers. Karsten takes one for a called strike. Karsten, a sophomore, his big brother Bowden, the shortstop and leadoff hitter for Butler, is a senior. And Karsten right now falls in a no balls and 2 strike hole. Not much of a lead for Radigan at first. Pitch up high. It's 1-2. Grin from the stretch. Took something off that one and just misses.
Yeah, that looked like a changeup. Just a little low.
It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Radigan being held on by the first baseman Noah Wallace. This one lifted into right field and down the first base line. Wallace giving a chase. He'll give away to the second baseman. Mike Sassano will make the catch in foul territory for out number 2.
I'm not sure if Wallace at first base or Maribel at right field was going to get it. And then out of nowhere, Mike Sassano sprinted in and caught the ball for the second out of the inning here in the top of the sixth.
So that'll bring up Jake Sobalski. Sobalski 0 for 1 on the night. Did walk back into second, grounded out to Noah Wallace his last time up. Radigan remains at first base now with 2 outs. And the first pitch to Sobalski is over for a called strike 1. Run across for Butler here in the top of the 6th, but they trail it 5-2. 0-1 pitch. Chopper right back to Grin. The pitcher will make the play to first base in time for out number 3. For Butler in the 6th, they do get a run. They finally get a couple of hits for the first time in the game, and they leave one on the base paths as well. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-2 Neshaminy on top.
The PIAA would like to thank Preferred Headwear and Head Brand supplier Outdoor Cap and Junk Brands for their continued sponsorship of PIAA athletics. Their products are built to perform with style from the sidelines to the stands. Visit junkbrands.com to learn more. The PA Attorney General's office and the PIAA remind you to not let pain become a killer. Be a good Samaritan. If you suspect a teammate, family member, or friend of abusing prescription drugs, tell a coach, tell a teammate, tell a teacher, tell someone. For help and information, go to ddap.pa.gov, and together we can ensure that pain doesn't become a killer.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
Well, Neshaminy thinking insurance right now. They lead at 5-2. One more at bat left for the Golden Tornado. And they'll have a deficit to try to get out of to try to extend this game as Neshaminy leads at 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 4 spot in the 5th, the difference maker right now for the Skins. And Nick Sassano will lead it off. Sassano, the 8-hole hitter, to be followed by Mike Welsh, and then Mike Sassano on the top of the order. Nick Sassano, the lone Neshaminy player who did not bat in that 5th inning, as they sent 8 men to the plate in that 4-run inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, 4 errors for Butler, 5 runs on 6 hits, and an error for Neshaminy. Sassano has 1 of those hits, 1 for 2 on the night. First pitch hit him. I think it slipped out of the hands of Stefanik.
Yeah, that looked like a curveball. Yeah, 76. Yeah, that was just either slip or just curveball that just didn't break.
So another leadoff base runner for Neshaminy as Nick Sassano is on board for the 2nd time.
Yeah, it's the last thing that Stefanik wanted to do was hit the leadoff hitter in the 6th, down 3 runs.
Here's the guy that got that last inning started, Mike Welsh, who had 1 hit on the year when he stepped to the plate, and he slapped one in the right field for a base hit. Came around to score the first of a 4-run 5th inning. Shows bunt, bunts it foul straight back. Gotta love it. Kid who had 9 at-bats on the entire season comes in as part of a double switch when Bonner came out. Grin, who was in left field, came in to pitch. Welsh came in to play left field, and he gets what could potentially be the game-winning rally started. As the runner takes off from first, Stefanik turns and throws, and it's in time. He's retired at second base. Sassano took off well before Stefanik had delivered it.
Yeah, he was not paying attention to him, and that was a really close play. The umpire made the out call, but Sassano thought he got in under the tag, and I'm not sure I would agree with. I might agree with him on that.
So he is out number 1. Pitch was a strike to Welsh. The first pitch was a strike on the bunt attempt. The 0-1 pitch almost hit him. Spins him off the plate. It's 1-1. That was 84 on the radar gun. Again, the top of the order, and Mike Sassano in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Got to be pretty simple right now from the Butler dugout for Stefanik. Just throw strikes, make him hit your best. Bottom of the order. And way up and in again. That at 92.
That was the hardest pitch he's thrown in a couple innings.
Correct. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Welsh. Try to check his swing, it does.
And get out of the way.
All of that, it's 3-2. Bounce it up there, ball 4. The ball gets away from Clement, not far enough for Welsh to do anything more than jog to first base at a rapid pace. But another base runner here for Neshaminy in the 6th. Just the 3rd walk given up by Stefanik. And here comes Mike Sassano.
And the previous 2 both scored. The previous 2 walks.
Mike Sassano being one of them as he started the game with a walk and came around to score Neshaminy's first run. First pitch from Stefanik is way up high, ball 1. And here comes Matt Clement again out to make his 3rd visit of the game with his pitcher, Nolan Stefanik. Not much. It just seems that when he's missed at the same spot a lot. Up and in to right-hand hitters, up and away to left-hand hitters. Which just generally means it's a mechanic thing. Again, very quick conversation between Clement and Stefanik. One ball and no strikes to Mike Sassano. Swings and fouls this one straight back to the backstop. 3 more games for you tomorrow here on the PIAA Radio Network. We started tomorrow morning at 10:30 with the Single A Championship. Eden Christian taking on Doc Mennonite. South Park and Bermudian Springs to follow in the 3A game. And the 5A game to finish up the weekend. As this one's up high, it's 2-1 to Mike Sassano. Shouldn't really say the weekend because the weekend here at Penn State continues with PIAA championships in both boys volleyball and girls and boys lacrosse on Saturday here on campus. 2-1 pitch, up and away, it's 3-1. And of course, the softball state championships are also taking place here at Penn State. The same days, Thursday and Friday, of the baseball championships. 3-1 pitch. It's over for a called strike 2. So this will be the end of the line of the 2025-26 scholastic season for the state of Pennsylvania with this very busy weekend here at Penn State. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Sassano. Finds this one. Radigan, the first baseman, knocks it down, throws to second for 1. The relay gets away from Stefanik and to the back to the dugout, and that's going to allow Mike Sassano to move up to second base. So the shortstop, Lennox, probably should have just put that one in his pocket, but he made the throw to first, and it got away from Stefanik.
PA announcer just said that was pitch number 100 for Stefanik.
So he can pitch to 105. Depending on where he is with a hitter. He does not have to come out in the middle of facing a batter, as Dan Marable will now bat for Neshaminy with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
And the 5th error of the night on Butler on the throwing error, allowing Sassano to go to second.
And the first pitch to Marable is over for a called strike. Marable's been on base twice tonight, singled and drove in a run, as well as scoring a run back in that big 5th inning. Also hit by a pitch and struck out. So officially 1 for 2 on the night. 0-1 pitch. Hit hard right side and through for a base hit into right field. Sassano will come around third The throw is cut off, and another run comes across, and an insurance run for Neshaminy to make it 6-2.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting by Maribel. Jumped on the fastball from Stefanik. It's 2 straight RBI singles, one in the 5th, one in the 6th for Maribel.
So another error allows another run to come across for Neshaminy, and that brings Chase Bonner to the plate.
And honestly, this could have been an even bigger inning, and it's not over yet, if Nick Sassano wasn't caught stealing.
Great point. That's the first pitch to Bonner is over for a called strike in the outside corner. So right now, Stefanik just trying to limit the bleeding as his team has one more bat, but this one's going to be in right field for another base hit, this one for Bonner. And the runner goes up to third base. The throw is late. He came off the bag. They throw back to third, but he's safe. Maribel kind of slid over the bag, but did recover. It's a base hit, and runners at the corners now as Bonner gets his first hit of the night.
And that might be it for Stefanik.
He might be at the pitch limit now.
Yep.
And it's going to bring Josh Forbes, the head coach for the Butler Golden Tornado, to the mound as Nolan Stefanik has hit his pitch limit. And he was at 100 when Maribel was at the plate. Maribel, I believe, hit the second pitch of the at-bat for his base hit, so he could face through Chase Bonner. And that's going to be it for Nolan Stefanik. He will come out of the game as the pitcher. He will not come out of the game. He will remain in for his bat.
Looks like Best is
Travis,
coming in
Trent
from right
Best.
field. Stefanik going to play right field.
Actually, it looks like Radigan is going to right
Or is it
field.
Radigan?
And that's going to, and I would imagine that Stefanik
That's
maybe
34,
going to go to
sorry.
first.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Right now, he's still in the dugout unless he's just changing gloves. He's getting some hugs in the dugout, but they're not going to take that bat out of the lineup, that's for sure.
Yeah, not at this stage. Let's see.
He would be due up 5th in the inning,
Yeah,
Nolan Stefanik.
It has to be him because there's
Right
no
now, they don't have a first baseman.
Yeah, it has to be him playing first base.
So Best, the new pitcher. Radigan goes to right field. Best to the mound. And we'll assume when they find a first baseman, it'll be Nolan Stefanik.
Maybe he's got to change spikes too. Who knows?
He's walking around. Here he
comes.
Yep.
Nice response here by Neshaminy. Butler scores a run in the 6th, and Neshaminy answers to again make it a 4-run game here in the bottom of the 6th.
Skins only had 2 hits through the first 4 innings, but they've had 6 hits since. And a good portion of them, 4 of them, have led to directly to RBIs. 2 of them by Dan Maribel, who's right now at second base, and Chase Bonner's at first. 2 outs in the inning. Best just trying to get one more out, give his team a chance to try to do something with the bats. Bottom half of the 6th inning, a 6-2 Neshaminy lead. Brandon Lull will be the batter for the Skins. Lull 1 for 2 on the night. Walked and scored as part of that 5th inning. Single to start the 4th. Rich said it a couple of times tonight. Neshamy's done a great job of getting their leadoff man on base.
Yeah. And just putting the ball in play. You know, Stefanik came in here with a lot of strikeouts and an impressive 8-1, 0.52 ERA. And Neshaminy has struck out just 3 times against them.
So Trent Best on in relief of Nolan Stefanik. And again, left-hand hittering Brandon Lull, at the plate for the Skins. With runners at the corners, Maribel at third, Bonner at first. First pitch, way up and away. It's ball 1. Started with a curveball, missed it up high. Fouls this one straight towards the facing of the dugout on the Butler side of the field. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. This one again fouled out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Brandon Lull. Noah Wallace in the on-deck circle if Lull should reach. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now time is called. Runner takes off from first. They've got him caught in a rundown, and the run will come across home plate. And now get caught in the rundown, that run will score. So it will count as another run as Maribel comes across. So Bonner just kind of setting himself up to be the sacrificial lamb to get the run across on the stolen base. So that will end the inning on the caught stealing for out number 3. But Neshaminy puts 2 more runs across. They do it on 2 more hits and another error committed. And ultimately, nobody left on the base pass. Will head to the 7th. Last chance for Butler. Their deficit now is 7-1, excuse me.
Baron rings are the official championship ring of the PIAA. For more information or to order your custom championship rings, please go to baronrings.com. That website, once again, is baronrings.com to order your custom championship rings today.
The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters and the PIAA, 2 community-focused organizations, are proud to be collaborating to provide Pennsylvanians free access to local high school sports broadcasts. To follow your schools, check your local TV and radio stations for coverage. Through the PAB and PIAA partnership, following Pennsylvania student-athletes has never been easier.
You're listening to the PIAA Spring Sports State Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
And here we head to the top half of the 7th inning. As we said, going to break. Last chance for Butler. 7-2 is our score. Neshaminy with the 2 spot in the 6th, add on to that 4 spot in the 5th to give them the margin right now. And that's the deficit that Butler finds themselves in as they come to the plate here in the 7th, down by 5 in their last at bat. Unless they can rally, they'll start it with the bottom of the order in Nash Kaufman, and then the top, Bowden Lennox and Maverick Clement. 9, 1, and 2 due up for Josh Forbes. Butler Golden Tornado.
They need a lot of lightning and thunder and lightning here, Bob, to get back in this thing. They have just the 2 hits, both coming in the 6th inning. It's going to take some doing for the Butler Golden Tornado to extend this game.
Well, Nash Kaufman is at the plate, and he has walked in his 2 plate appearances. The 9-hole hitter has been on base both times. First pitch to him here, over for a called strike. Matt Grin on in relief of Chase Bonner, and Grin is in position to get the win here, as he came on in relief in the 5th, and then Neshaminy rallied for that 4 spot in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch, just misses outside. It's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Took something off that one, and Kaufman was way out in front. It's 1-2. Grin right back to work at 1-2. Lines this one into center field. That's going to be a base hit, and into the gap. Is going to roll all the way back to the fence.
He's going to run for a while.
Kaufman to second base and still going to run all the way to third. A long run for Nick Sassano to run that thing down, and the throw gets away, but a good job by Grin to back it up. And a leadoff triple for Nash Kaufman, who's on base for the 3rd time tonight.
Placed the ball extremely well in the gap between center field and right field. rolls all the way to the wall in right center, ends up with a stand-up triple.
So he's on third base with nobody out, and the top of the order, and Bowden Lennick at the plate. Lennick 0 for 3 on the night. Senior shortstop with 17 RBIs on the year. And Neshaminy, of course, will play the infield back. They'll concede the run. They're just looking for outs right now with a 5-run lead here in the 7th. Grin's delivery. Drives this one straight up in the air, shallow left field. Walsh comes in, makes the catch. The runner will not tag as the throw is cut off.
Wise decision.
So out number 1 here in the 7th on the fly out, 1 pitch, and Bowden Lennick is retired. Mike Walsh squeezes out number 1 in left field. It will bring up Maverick Clement. Clement 0 for 2 on the night, did walk back in the 5th inning. He was the final batter that Chase Bonner faced in this game. And then Grin came on to face the man who's in the on-deck circle, Trent Best. First pitch to Clement, way inside.
And we had that odd double play, strikeout, throw him out, when Clement drifted. It was first and second with 1 out, and Best struck out. The ball got about 2 feet behind the catcher, and Clement drifted off first base, and the catcher threw him out.
He grounds this one in through the left side for a base hit. Maverick Clement with a base hit that will score Nash Cuffman from third base. That makes it a 7-3 game. An RBI single for the future Pitt Panther. He's on first base with 1 out, and here is Trent Best. RBI number 14 on the year for Clement. And I believe they're going to use a courtesy runner for him. They will. It'll be Mason Cuffman, the cousin of Nash, who will run at first base. Lefty on lefty matchup here with Grin pitching to Trent Best. First pitch, hit him. Now let's see about that, because the home plate umpire and the catcher were arguing that he did not make a move to get out of the way, and this is going to bring Dan Toner out of the dugout.
Yeah,
they're putting him on first base, but Best pretty much took one for the team right there. They're gonna have Dan Toner's just going to ask the home plate umpire Todd Galbraith to talk it over with his fellow umpires, because the question was, did he make an effort to get out of the way, or did he put his arm out there and take it?
That's the question.
Right.
If he leaned into it.
They're putting him on first base,
yeah,
so it is a hit by pitch.
Yeah,
you got to be really obvious, I think, to get called on that.
I mean, 90 times out of 100, that's not going to be overturned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Chase Utley even ever got called on that. But if anybody was going to get called on it, it would have been Chase Utley.
Well, regardless, Butler now down 4, 1 out, 1 run in, first and second, and you have Stefanik coming up, and the last time he was up, he had a ball deep to left center field for a double, 1 hopped to the fence.
Came around to score the second run of the game for Butler. They've got a run across here in the 7th, makes it a 7-3 game, and the first pitch to Stefanik is down low for a ball. So right now the tying run is in the on-deck circle for the Golden Tornado here in the top of the 7th. 2 on, 1 out. Down by 4. And that just misses. It's 2-0.
I'm going to guess that was low.
And everybody just kind of looked for a moment. Catcher, Hitchin, took a look. Pitch, the batter, Stefanik, took a look. And it's 2-0. This one shallow. I was going to say center field, but it's not even going to get out of the infield, as Mike Sassano there at second base will make the catch.
Big out. Stefanik, just a dangerous hitter. Grin gets him to pop out for the second out, and Neshaminy is 1 out away from winning its first state championship in baseball.
It'll be Blake Scott who is the hitter. Scott 0 for 3 on the night with a couple of strikeouts. And one of those strikeouts coming against Grin in his last at bat. 2 on now and 2 out. The longest moments of Dan Toner's life right now, trying to get the state title for Neshaminy. Grin's pitch, outside ball 1. Game about to hit 2 hours and 30 minutes from first pitch. It was delayed by 2 hours and 20 minutes. 1 ball and no strikes to Blake Scott. There for strike 1. Two on, 1 run across for Butler here in the 7th. And 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-hand hitting Blake Scott. In the dirt, good block by Hitchin. 2-1. Ryan Radigan now in the on-deck circle for Butler, if Scott can reach.
Large group of Neshaminy students poised behind the first base dugout, ready to celebrate.
Pickoff attempt
He's
to
out.
second base, and he just got back. The shortstop Bonner snuck in behind, and
that was really close.
Courtesy
Thought he had
runner
him.
Kaufman had to dive back in. I think the tag got him on the waist area, but that tag was closer to the top of his body or his hand. He probably has it. So it stays 2 balls and a strike now to Scott. Pitch over, called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Neshaminy 1 pitch away from winning its first state championship in baseball. Butler down to its last strike.
Up on the edge of the dugout on the first base side are the Skins. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Blake Scott. Grin with a long look from the stretch. Look back to second and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3, that will do it. The Neshaminy Skins for the first time are PIAA baseball champions as Matt Grin strikes out Blake Scott to end it.
Great performance by Matt Grin in relief of Chase Bonner. And just a terrific run through this state tournament by the Skins. Again, entered the tournament as the 4th seed out of District 1. Knocked off the District 11 champion William Allen, the District 12 champion LaSalle, and the District 1 champion Pennsbury.
So it is Neshaminy that wins it as they're celebrating out in center field. And we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and wrap up day 1 of our high school baseball state championship coverage here on the PIAA Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Zona, an osteopathic physician dedicated to protecting young people. Every family needs to know that 13 American teens die every week from a drug overdose, and most involve fentanyl. Many never even knew that's what they were taking, because fentanyl can be found in fake prescription pills made to look like real medications, like Xanax or Percocet, and they're often sold on social media. Just one pill can kill. Learn more at fentanylawarenessday.org, presented by Song for Charlie through POMA.
Transform your field with Digital Scoreboard's massive outdoor LED displays. Designed to handle any weather, they deliver bold visuals for scores, replays, and sponsor ads. Visit digitalscoreboards.net to get started. Is college in your future? The Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency helps PA students and families navigate all things college, such as scholarships, grants, and loans. For more information on ways to plan and pay for college, visit PHEAA.org. That's PHEAA.org.
You're listening to the 2026 PIAA Baseball Championships on the PIAA Radio Network.
So the Neshaminy Skins are your 2026 PIAA champion. And the irony of this, Rich, is that this team, because of good pitching, is able to work their way through the state championship. They scored a total of 9 runs in 3 games to get to the state final and ended up putting up 7 runs. They waited a while to do it, but they had a big fifth and a big 6 where they put together a couple of innings and they come away with a 7-3 victory.
Unsung hero of the game, Mike Welsh. He led off the bottom of the 5th. He came into the game an inning earlier when there was the Neshaminy made a pitching change, moved to left field. As Bob said, he'd only been at the plate 9 times before tonight, only had 1 hit. Led off the 5th with a single and scored the go-ahead run, and Neshaminy never looked back after that.
Just a couple of great at-bats by Neshaminy in that inning. RBI singles from Dan Marable and from Noah Wallace, as well as Matt Grin, who ends up getting the win in this game, coming on in relief. And then Neshaminy added on with another RBI single from Marable and some defensive problems for Butler in the the bottom half of the 6th inning. And so Neshaminy gets the win for the winning Skins. 7 runs on 8 hits. They committed 1 error. They left 5 on the base paths. Butler 3 runs on 4 hits. They committed 5 errors in the game, and they left 8 on base. Matt Grin gets the win. He is 9-1 in his final game of this and his senior season. Nolan Stefanik, who will come here to pitch for the Penn State Nittany Lions, takes the loss. He is 8-2 in a game that took 2 hours and 30 minutes to get. 2 hours and 20 minutes to get started. With a rain delay, takes 2 hours and 30 minutes to get finished. But it is in the books, and Neshaminy at 21-7 is the 6A state champion. Butler, the District 7 champion, finishes their season as the PIAA runner-up and 22-4. That will complete our day 1 coverage. Again, we'll be right back at it tomorrow on the PIAA Radio Network, starting with the Single A championship game at 10:30, the 3A championship game scheduled for 1:30, and then the 5A state championship game to wrap up the week of baseball championships scheduled for 4:30. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you'll do it again tomorrow. Our producer has been Matt Flannery. For my broadcast partner, Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. The Neshaminy Skins are your 2026 6A baseball state champions. They beat Butler by a final score of 7-3. Thanks for listening, everyone, and have yourselves a great evening.